Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome. I'm so excited to see you today. Really under the weather today, but I didn't want to miss coming and having a craft with you guys. So I'm here. So please excuse me again. I'm really under the weather today and not feeling well. That's why I went right to my work surface. But we're going to have a play today. I thought we'd take it easy today since I don't feel well. And we'd play with Sweet Bouquet. This is one of my favorite sets. It was designed by the amazing Miriam Torres. It is just a fabulous, fabulous product set, and so excited to have it. I even had a unicorn costume I was going to wear today and everything, but I just definitely do not feel up to it. So I'll wear my unicorn another day for you guys. I do have dinosaur jammies, so maybe that counts as something. And then I just picked three colors that I thought might be fun to have a play. Some blue, yellow, teal. Nice color combo. Hi, everyone, as you're coming in. Hello, my dear friends. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I am going to use my Stencil 2.0 today because I want to stamp this twice. So just going into this, just let me put the full disclosure. There will be emery fur on this stamp. So no matter what I do, there's going to be emery fur involved in my crafting. So I just, what do you call that? A precursor or letting everybody know. So emery fur is literally everywhere in my life. Okay, and Dexy. Dexy has some serious fur too. So what I'm going to try to do, now we could, make a wreath with this little floral. I'm trying to be careful pulling it off. I have ripped a stamp before. I felt like King Kong taking the city there. Okay, so I'm going to try. I'd like to be able to stamp this 4 times. Would be nice to have that. So I'm going to try to keep it. It should be good. I'm guesstimating here. And then we'll worry about our sentiments after. I love this set. I love the design, and thank you so much, Sue. I love the design and I love the sentiments and everything, but the fonts, oh, I love that there's so many different fonts in there. And yes, you can pre-order. I believe there is the pre-order for the Stamp Wheel 2.0 still up right now. It is fantastic. The difference is it has a 9x9 base in which you can move your image around. I was going to stamp it with obsidian, but you know what? I'm going to stamp it. My heat tool is not plugged in. It comes down to just not wanting to have to deal with all that monkey business. So I'm just going to use the jet black. The other thing is to consider when you are stamping an image, because of course I love the crispness of my obsidian. I love obsidian. But the other thing to consider is that we will be stenciling, and I'm going to stencil soon, right? So if I use the obsidian and I don't heat set it, then I have to worry about possibly getting movement because it is a pigment ink, right? So I have to worry about that. With the jet black, I don't. This is a fresh dye ink. It's a water-based ink. And look, see, I missed that one section. So we're going to go over with that. I still missed that one little petal. Is a little resistant today to stamping. Okay, and then see, we can stamp it there. I'll get at least 3, if not 4. Oh, I love that foldable cutting mat. Yes, that foldable cutting mat. I actually, I use mine for a few things. I have one that I cut on, right? One that's just a designated for cutting. Then I have my, my die cutting machine on one so it doesn't hurt my desk. So I love those for all kinds of things. All right, and then I love sweater and cold season, although I think it's like in the 70s here today. I went outside and I was like so hot. Well, I have a fever, so I was hot anyways, but it's so warm and nice today. And I feel so bad because I am supposed to help. There's an emery fir, and I was just going to see if I could see it. I won't waste too much time, but oh, I see it. Haha. My neighbor has dementia, and I was trying to be a very good neighbor and help out and rake her leaves. And today would have been a fantastic day to do that, but I just definitely don't feel up to it. So they're not coming to collect them until November 4th. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but it's like ridiculously hot. And the thing is, like the other night, Monday, I think, Monday evening, I was using my car starter at my aunt's because it was like 19. So, and I had my heat pump on the other day. It's like wild, like, and it's hard because like at night, you don't know, like you're living two lives, you're in between the winter comforter and like just the blanket and the sheet. It's like wild. Not that I'm complaining that we're a little pushing the snow out a little bit more. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about that. So when you guys get your new Stamp Wheel 2.0, you will know that this fits beautifully 4 times. How amazing is that? I'm so excited by that. So I don't know if we'll necessarily fill all 4 cards, but as you know, we like to have those extras because you never know when it's going to show up. Thank you so much, you guys. I know, me too. It hit out of nowhere. Like I was fine and then I wasn't. So I used to take elderberry and it was kind of just out of laziness. I ran out of it. So I just didn't, and then some came in the mail the other day and I was like, oh man, I haven't been taking my elderberry. So maybe there's something there. It's, it's vitamin C and all kinds of healthy stuff. So maybe I should be taking my elderberry. Maybe it would be good for me. All right. And then what we're going to do, we're going to leave this alone. We're not going to touch this at the moment. We're going to give it a hot second to kind of cool down, dry, not cool down. Oh gosh, you guys. Okay. At least I forewarned you I wasn't feeling well. So when I say silly things, you guys are like, oh, it's okay. But sometimes I say silly things anyways, and I'm healthy. So that's okay, right? All right. So this die set, let's just see. So it will cut out those big, bold sentiments, the hello, friend, you're awesome, and happy birthday. And my aunt is going to start taking some of my cards. So she said, happy birthday is one that she uses a lot. So let's stamp up a few of those. Now I have just my sticky mat and I'm going to hand stamp because I didn't want to mess with the mojo going on in my stamp wheel, right? So you can just put your ink pad on here. It's not fully on there, so it's moving still a little, but it won't move if you put it down there all on its own. And then you can still kind of hand stamp. Don't know if there's emery fur. Luckily, I dropped it away. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we're going to move this now. Now it's in my way. And then the beautiful thing about this mat is I can turn it to where it's comfortable for me. I don't have to leave it. Oh, apparently I'm too weak to pick up a stamp block. Oh, Geesh. All right, there we go. Well, I'm not super stoked with those, but okay. So we're going to peel this up. This was just an extra piece of cardstock I had kind of hokey pokeying around here, and I got more. So let me see if I can actually hand stamp something here without making a mess. Maybe, possibly. All right. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. All right, there. And it's got an emery hair. There we go. That's the other thing. Just at the point, I get a perfect hand stamp. There's the fur. The fur comes on the scene. Okay, and it's off the Y and the Y and, well, I don't see it. Oh, I think I got it. All right. I think I got it. Usually I think I get it and then it shows up someplace else. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I can always stamp these later. Perfect. Okay. So we will do, since she needs a lot of birthday cards, as long as she doesn't send this to, brother and sister or the same person twice, since there will be 4 cards, she'll be golden. All right. So we got those. So we're going to wipe this off. Oh, can't get me on YouTube today. It's showing it's active on YouTube, but That's kind of technology sometimes, right? Technology does what technology wants to do. And then, so I'm going to try to stamp this. Now I'm hand stamping. It's one of those solid ones. Oh, sitting all over my fingers. Let's see how this goes. All right, I'm going to go this way. Sometimes it's just fun to have a surprise in life, right? And I don't mind stamping surprises. Stamping surprise, well, sometimes I do. That's not true. Because you usually get a stamping surprise at the moment you don't want a stamping surprise, right? So we're going to stamp these. These are coming out fantastic. I'm so excited. And I'll just trim those with my scissors. And I got to be careful because I'm getting obsidian everywhere there. All right. Perfect. So I've got 4 enjoy your special days to go with that. All right. And because we would be the lazy crafter if we were not Bridget Casey, we are going to just pop this here, throw that up there, and we may or may not clean the stamps earlier. So now because these are pigment ink, I'm going to set these aside to dry. So that's why it's nice to have one of these. I have a couple of these mats because they're fantastic. And of course, I'm covered head to toe in obsidian. I looked down the other night. I had gold ink on my hand. Don't know where the gold ink came from, but it was pretty. All right, so we're going to set that aside. Now the fun begins. And I don't actually need this in my Stamp Wheel 2.0 anymore. I'm just going to lift the side, which makes it easier for me to pull up on the mat. And I can take the whole thing out, right? And I can leave these on the mat. Oh, already got a piece of fur down there. Ah, it's bending it. Hold on. I bent it. All right, so we're down to 3 cards. That's okay. That's okay. All right. That's why I warned you I wasn't feeling well because things are a little wild. But we could put a sentiment like right over there where I bent it. It's okay. But then I have it still on my mat, which is fantastic. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. Now you got me on YouTube. Excellent. Okay, so let's go and we're going to pull out. My friend Charlene is here today, and Charlene there's something called the Small Stamping Kit in the Alt New store for beginner stampers, and Charlene did a fantastic class with this set. I was actually thinking of Charlene, so it's very exciting that Charlene is here with us today. Welcome, Charlene. I always think of that. You did such a fantastic job on that class. It was an amazing class. So it's the Small Stamping Starter Kit, I believe is what it's called, is its actual name. Okay, and I'm just looking because, of course, I was more concerned with the placement, right, of my stamp and getting it to stamp 4 times than I was concerned about matching how the stencil was going to go, right? Because if you match in the layering guide the position of the stamp, it's easier to use the stencils. So I should have done that. I did not. So today is one of those I did not days. It is a beautiful set, and what you did with it was fantastic. It was gorgeous. Also, the fabulous designer the designer of the stamp set, and then what the fabulous designers do with it once they get it and what they see with it. So very exciting. All right. So I think first we're going to go with this. I picked this for my best friend, Pam. Loves lapis lazuli. This is her jam. She loves blues. And I got her an LL Bean bag, and I said, "What's your favorite color?" And she said lapis lazuli, which told me 2 things, right? 1, she liked lapis lazuli. 2, we live in an alt new world. Like, we see things in alt new colors. All right, so I'm going to do iceberg, and then I'm going to do eastern sky on this. And I'm just going to do the eastern sky in the center, just for a little added wapa, as Chandler says. Okay, and just add that to you're happy with like the depth and dimension that you're getting out of there. So just, it adds a little something extra. So let's go down so you guys can see, and I'll just keep rotating my panels. So so that we put them in here. Okay, we might change colors on the next one. So we'll do this one and then we might change up the colors because we don't always have to use, you know, a green for leaves, right? We can do whatever we want because, as Altnew says, we craft our lives, we craft our pretty world we want to be in. Hello, everyone. If you're just coming in and I missed you in the beginning, I'm sorry I'm not perky today, but I didn't want to cancel. I really, really didn't want to cancel. So I figured you guys would take non-perky versus you guys would rather craft than and have me be not perky than miss out on crafting. So hopefully that is the case. All right, then next on this one, we're going to do the orange one. Oh, I didn't pull a yellow for the flower center, so I should pull a yellow for the flower center as well. I'll do that in a moment. Okay. And this with the stencils, just kind of rotate it till it falls. It's like a little puzzle. Just going to rotate it till it falls into place. For this, we'll use Sunkissed and Orange Cream. These are two of my absolute favorite oranges. Of course, I've fallen in love with the new Sunkissed Delights, but I still go back to my love and passion for Warm and Cozy. I have loved Warm and Cozy forever. Oh, very cool. You know, Charlene, that is my most favorite painting of all times is A Starry Night. That I have, my earbuds are in that case. I listen to the song Vincent. I love everything about it. When I travel, I look, they have special magnets that have that scene, but they have the state. Like, for example, I found one in Vegas that was Starry Night with the Vegas skyline. Then I had a layover in Denver and they had the same one, but it had the Denver skyline. So it was really, really cool. So I was very excited to get those. I love magnets. I have one of my friends from Altnew when we were at the in-person retreat last year, she gave me a magnet. And it's nice. Every morning I make my coffee, I see the magnet, and I'm like, aw, you know, I think of my friend. So it's nice. Oh, I forgot to do A3. All right, back to lapis lazuli for a hot second. I forgot to do my, is that it? Let's see. I forgot to do my layer. I know you guys were out there going, oh, God, wait, you forgot your layer. I just couldn't hear you. Okay, so what we will do, right? We used Eastern Sky and the iceberg. So we're going to use the ultramarine here. Okay. Got to have that detail layer. But because I wasn't aware there was a detail layer even though it was looking right at me. That's the key when using any stencil. You want a stencil like the detail isn't coming, right? So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you have a simple coloring stencil, which is all we really used to have in the crafty world, if that's all you have to find a way to add depth and dimension. And that's with blending tools, right? So that's what you do as you're moving through, add the depth and dimension. Add 2 or 3 colors to each opening of a flower. Now on this one too, okay, so I'm going to add Autumn Blaze, right? But we can also come in. There's no reason we can't add Fire Brick. So let's add Fire Brick on this one. Why not, right? The more color, think of it. If you could have as many crafty friends over to your house, wouldn't you want to have them all? So this is kind of the same thing. You know, you get to add as many colors as you want. So why not add a bunch of them? All right, so there's that Fire Brick in the center there. Okay, I'm going to lift that up and see you get a little bit more on this one because we added that Fire Brick in there. This one, we only added the ultramarine. We didn't add the azurite. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this because it's filthy. Okay. But I get it. So for those folks, Charlene raised a really good point. Do you guys get Autumn Blaze and Amber Blaze mixed up? I do. Does anyone know if Altitude's in-person event is the same time month every year? Not necessarily. So it says, in case you guys didn't know, and maybe this can be posted in the chat, there are wait lists now for next year's events. So the Secret Garden has been posted. The Cozy Comfort has been posted. The date, who's teaching, has been posted. The live in-person event has been posted. That one does not have a confirmed date yet. It says right on there that it will be updated. But you can join the wait list, and then as soon as those are available for purchase, that you will be on that wait list, and we'll get that out to you when we start actually, when the listings go actually live. But you can join the wait list and be one of the first to be on there. So there we go. Thank you so much for posting that there. So it's exciting, and you can see who the teachers are. As always, we have stunning, amazing lineups for instructors for 2025. Very excited about our lineups. All right, so I'm just adding 2 colors here. Now, you could add all 4, right? You really could. It's going to make a difference. The other thing you can do, and I think I've shown you this before. So I'm using Fall Harvest. I'm using butternut, and I'm using pumpkin pie from Fall Harvest. So what you can do is take the artist marker, or you could use like a gold pen or whatever you have, right? And just come in and you can add some little dot detail in the center if you would like. And I'm just following kind of where I put that darker color. So it just adds, right, a little something to it there. So hopefully, oh, come on camera. There we go. So it just adds a little extra detail to that, which I think is great. Anything we can do to get a little extra detail, super duper easy, is always good. All right, then they have kind of another starburst that we can add onto our flowers here. Okay, and this is where I can add the fire brick for sure. But you don't have to add this, right? I'm trying to decide. I don't know if I want to add this. I think I like it how it is, but we'll do all the steps on the first one. And then as we go through, maybe we will, maybe we won't. You never know. All right. And then we have that. So this is the azurite, which is beautiful. I think we even have that cardstock. I'm trying to keep up and memorize the names, but I think we have that one in a cardstock as well. It's very beautiful. Blue has always been my favorite color. It may shock people because I use a lot of pink in my crafting, so it may shock you, but my vehicle's blue, my clothes are blue, everything I own, my water bottles, all that blue. All right, so there we go. There's our start. How pretty is that? Yes, the in-person event, there's nothing like it. It's so much fun, and you get to meet the leadership team. Like Tisneen, Lydia, Jen, May was there, Marianne was there, Nabil's there. I'm trying to think. Samir was there. So you get to meet all of them. I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, I'm so sorry. We have some of our designers are there, meaning the actual product designers are there. Give a shout out to Sabrina. Love Sabrina. She designs such beautiful products, as all our designers do. Who else? I'm trying to think. JC was there this year and taught a fabulous class. It's just so much fun being in person. Plus, you get to meet your crafty friends like in person, which is so much fun. You know, people that there were some folks that had just only ever talked before, and this was their first time meeting. It was so exciting. So lots of fun. And you guys will be seeing something coming out soon that the audience got a special chance to participate in at the live. Hello, my friend Mindy. Hello, Mindy. I got the best compliment the other day, Mindy. I've been meaning to text you and tell you, but since you are here and can hear me, I'll just tell you. This is mint chalk. Mint chalk. I always want to say mint chocolate chip, but it's mint chalk. I was told that my blending was as beautiful as Mindy Egan's. And I was like, oh my gosh, holy Toledo. That is a huge compliment. So I thought that was a very, very nice compliment because you have such beautiful, beautiful work and stunning blending. All right. Now, see, I could bring out my other sticky mat and put my little cubes on it, and I'm going really light. You're probably like, Bridget, there's no ink. You're like, I see you blending, but there's no ink. What is wrong with you? We know you're sick, but you must have the strength to blend, right? Because usually I'm a really heavy blender, right? But we're going to go light on this. All right. And there are 2 layers to the leaves, but I am going to go in, take this opportunity to add just some pool at the base of the leaves or where I think it would be darker, right? Because of course we are going to add with the next stencil because we're going to use all of them this time. We might not necessarily do that next time. You never know. You never can tell with me. Never quite know what I'm going to do. All right, especially in crafting. In life, I'm pretty boring, but crafting, I go a little wild. Okay, and then here we're going to layer this down. So this one's over here with all the spikes. It's spiky. All right, so we're going to put that there. And put that down in there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the Mystic Lake because I already used that pool a little bit. So I want that to stay. And then I'm going to add this and I'm going to go over all of the blending. So see, even if some of the blending I did on the previous step gets covered up, that's okay. But if it doesn't, right, it's in my project. So the extra, 15 seconds it took me to blend that on, to me is so worth it because it might not get covered up. Then we're going to go ahead and I am going to blend on a little bit of the Teal Tempest. Okay. Because we are going to add this also for the actual stems. Woo! Moving my stencil on myself here. That's why it's good to have 2 pieces of satin masking tape, not 1. I live a little rogue sometimes. Only in crafting though, not in real life. Real life, I'm super duper boring. But that's okay. That's like my son called. He's like, what's new? I'm like, nothing. Like, I got nothing. Like it's all pretty much same thing, different day, you know? Okay, so there we go. Look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. All right, there we go. We're going to spray this. Okay. Just clean this with isopropyl alcohol. I said that one time and somebody thought I meant something different. So I now always say isopropyl alcohol because didn't want to get that mixed up. Okay. And then we're going to come in. Now what I could do, right, because I like my blending and I think it's okay. I don't think I'm going to lose anything. I could bring in like Galactic Stream if I wanted to add my stems in here. But I'm not too concerned about it. Just trying to get this lined up. The lights in my eyes are pretty bright, so sometimes it's harder for me to, you guys might see it, but all right. Yeah, we'll stick with the Teal Tempest. So I'm just going to go, shocker, I'm going to go darker with this, right? Because I want to make sure that it's really seen. Okay, there we go. So that is our first one all done. All right, hopefully we will get our 2 cards today. I promise you that. All right. So got our first one. The second one will go kind of non-traditional. with. And we also have this amazing kind of stencil that we can do on the background as well, in back of this. So we'll do that. Okay. So this one, I'm going to go a little bit faster. I'll save the one that I got kind of yucky there. And then, so this guy is the winner. This guy is the winner, chicken dinner. Okay. And we have to find the stencil. Here we go. We got stencil number 1. All right. So off we go again. Okay. And I'm looking for, this looks like a bite's been taken out of it. And there's that right there. So that's the one I'm looking for. And then I just twist a little bit, and I know I'm in position to be in position, as my husband would say. So this one, we are going to go with the teal first. So I'm back to my mint chalk. Now you don't have to do, well, first let's lay this down, right? First, you don't have to do anything in crafting. Crafting's crafting. Nobody can tell you have to do this, you have to do that. Many cool techniques have been found by people breaking the rules. We had the lovely Sarah Simon create stamps and did a fabulous class with us. And she said, it's good to learn the rules so that you know when you're breaking them in crafting. And I thought that was fantastic, because it wasn't learn the rules so you don't break them. It was learn the rules so you know when you're breaking them, you know. But I think we've gotten some beautiful techniques. Now, the other thing you can do, okay, is I'm going to step this up. So I did mint chalk and I did pool. So this one, I'm going to do pool. I'm trying to try not to go too dark with it, but I do want to get a coverage. So I'm always starting in the center and going out. You can start off and go over. You just want to make sure you have a chance to get some of that ink off. But this will give us a little bit of a different look. And then Mystic Lake. Okay, and then we're just going to do the center with Mystic Lake, right? Just add some little extra details with that. And the micro brushes would be fantastic to add that extra little detail in there. All right, so there's our first one. So it's kind of fun having those two separate colors. And we will do the little splotchies. Why not? Let's do the splotchies. Okay, I think that's there, and then that falls there, making sure I'm inside the lines, tape that down, and the little splotchies we will do with Mystic Lake. And this, again, you know, look through your inks, see what other families you can bring in to this and mix and match. I would suggest Sweet Dreams, I think would be beautiful with that. Okay, and then I am going to quickly clean this just because that ink sometimes likes to find a home in the last place that you want it to find a home. So we're going to wipe that down. Okay. Exactly. I love that you only have to have fun. I am not, let me see. I believe we have Han behind the badge today. I believe the fabulous Han is with us today. Okay, and then this one. Now, again, you could do a teal flower arrangement, right? No worries. We are going to not do that. We're going to go with iceberg, and we're going to have some orange leaves, my friends, because I ask you, why not? I love a good orange leaf. One of my favorite color combos, if you haven't tried, is Seashore, or you could even put in this new beautiful Aqua Island would be beautiful. But that Warm and Cozy limestone, Warm and Cozy and Rock Collection. Oh my gosh, my brain is like, zzz. My brain is not working today. But blue leaves would be equally as pretty, right? So it doesn't matter what combo you want to use, but we're going to go with orange leaves on this one. Okay. And then Eastern Sky. My gosh, they're doing construction, and I live probably a mile from like the on-ramp to the highway, and usually you hear nothing. Like my neighborhood is super quiet, and now you hear all these engine brakes going off, and it is the most annoying sound. I didn't realize, I guess, how annoying of a sound it was it happens all the time now. And like late at night too, especially. It's very, very annoying. Oh, goodness gracious. My face feels like it's melting off. Okay. All right. And then I'm going kind of light. As you can see, I had a whoopsie. I went a little too strong there. And then my power ran out apparently with the ultramarine. And then we'll add just a little dose of the azurite in the middle on the leaves. And remember, again, and I mentioned this, I know a lot. I know I'm repeating myself, but as my father would say, but this ink, its job is to dye paper. So it does do its job. So you may put a dollop of ink down and it may dye into the paper. That's okay. You can add more ink. It's okay. It's all right. If it's not as dark as you want it to be, you could always add more. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go rogue and I'm going to put some Ride the Wave on there. I just need my blue because I want it to be different than that. So I'm going to put my Ride the Wave on there. Okay. And I just grabbed that because I looked up and Ride the Wave was literally looking at me. There was no thought process. Today's not the day for thought process. Hello, everyone. The green and gray, yeah. But the teal, like when I first started out, that teal, the seashore, the rock collection, and the warm and cozy, like I couldn't stop. It's like now it's like me with the oranges and the pinks. Like I just can't help it. I love it so much. Okay. And then now we are going to do our little flower centers and we're going to do the same thing. We're still going to use that. I think that Fall Harvest is very versatile as flower centers, right? It's just a nice kind of brownish yellow that kind of goes with everything. And I say brownish yellow because as it goes darker, it gets more brown. All right. And then a little bit there. And then if you want to do the trick with the marker, just bring your marker out. You can even leave the stencil on. Try to get different size dots. But there we go. We got that. Okay. And I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do that final burst of color because I kind of layered my colors as we went. So I'm going to leave that. I do like that Ride the Wave on there, though. That looks nice. Okay, so we're going to leave that. Then we're going to move to our leafy stencil. Okay. And now we're going to go with the orange. So we can put our make sure all our blues are closed. Put those in there. Eastern Sky and Iceberg. Okay, I've got my oranges armed and ready to go, so to speak. Okay, and this time we're going to do it a little bit different. We're not going to do well, we really should do the stems. I was going to say we're not going to do the stems. We're not going to do the second layer where we color the other side of the leaves like we did on the other one. I'm just going to layer up these leaves with a lot of color on this stencil. So we're going to skip the second part. So it's C2 on your stencil if you are making this later. Oh, thank you so much. It is fun to play with all the colors and you never know. That's the fun thing too, right? You never know when you grab something like Martian Terrain. I love to put Martian Terrain with Warm and Cozy and mix it in. It's beautiful. Martian Terrain also works with a lot of the pinks I love. So try, some of your favorites, try them out and just try different color combinations. Do what you can. Don't be afraid. The worst thing is you make something and you're like, that's not my favorite thing I've ever made. And then you get a new piece of paper and off you go again. That's the worst scenario. Okay, and let's see. This is orangish, so I think I used it on burnt red. So now I'm on Autumn Blaze. Okay, and I'm adding it to here. And then we will come in with Fire Brick. I'm going to put some there because it would be darker there. Okay, and you can, where those leaves crease, even though there's no good place, you can go down that line, right? And just kind of make that a little bit darker when you have your blending tools. And this just gives me focused color, right? Because there's a lot of color packed into these little brushes, and it gives me a nice focused color. Now we're going to take the Fire Brick. Oh, thank you so much. I was this morning, I'm like, I'm going to have to cancel. I gotta cancel. I'm not going to make it. Not going to make it. Then it got to like 2 and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, oh, I can't cancel. I feel so bad. I'm like, that's all right. I can sleep later. It's okay. I would not come to a class like this in person, but since I get to be at home in my jammies and you guys have a protective screen so I don't get you sick, that's good. All right, so there we go. So we've added, right, that color. Now you can keep going, right? You don't have to stop there. You can add more, like maybe you want to bring in red jasper, you know, that could be pretty on there. So there we go. So I love that the darkness of those leaves pops against the softness, right, of the light blue, the light teal. Got those pretty colors. And that's the other thing. If you don't have a lot of inks, just really focus on making sure that you go lighter handed when you do some things, and you can really, really push your inks so that you have more out of them. So you can, you know, if you go lighter and then you can put a couple layers of one color on different stencil layers if you have a soft enough hand with them. Okay, and then there's my tape. All right, and then we are, let's see, I was just giving it a spin. I'm going to bring my Morning Frost over. I think I'm going to use that as well. I was just giving a quick spin here. Fire Brick. Let me try. Okay, no, I'll just use Fire Brick. I was going to try Berry Mocha. If I was home alone, I probably would. If you turned me loose, I would probably try Berry Mocha, but it's at the end and we're on a time clock, so we will not try that at the moment. Okay. All right. Okay, so there we go. We have our 2 finished pieces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully pull this sticky mat up. Then what I like to do is I like to flip it over and I peeled the mat off the paper. That keeps your paper from tearing and twist. You know how it was wiggling and I have those marks because I was pulling the mat with it. If you do it this way, your paper will not tear. You will not have those problems. So I just couldn't do that when it was in the actual stamp wheel. All right, so then we will go ahead and just trim these a little. Okay. I'm going to use the coordinating dies to cut these out. Okay, get the dies right here. And then same thing with this, okay? I'm not going to peel that off. Hold the paper down, peel the sticky mat back. Paper down, sticky mat off. There we go. It had some paper from a previous project I'd gotten stuck on there, but I don't always remember my own tips, so I can definitely tell you that. I bet there are a lot of crafters here that will do that. Yes. Oh, Ailey, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Morning Frost is the secret. It is fantastic. It is one of those colors. I mean, I love the whole family. The whole family is fantastic. But that Morning Frost, I use a lot. When you need a little something, something, it's great. It is fantastic because it's not a gray. You can also use like limestone, but I really love Morning Frost for like how I'm going to use it today. Okay, I'm not going to fidget with this too much. I've been fidgeting with dyes today. I'm not going to fidget with this one too much. I'm just going to stick and go, stick and go. All right. And then that one looks like emery got two. Oh, it does have emery here. All right. That's okay. That's okay. It's extra special. There's a video with Emery, who is help. Oh, good. Excellent. Thank you. I always feel so bad because my whole life have had my name mispronounced. So I always try really hard to, um, pronounce. My maiden name was Lolar. So, and it's Lolar. And so everybody was Lawler, Luler. And then I get called Brigitte or I get called Bridget. I then when I married my husband and I took Casey, I was so excited. I'm like, nobody's ever going to mispronounce my name again. Boy, was I wrong. People, I go places and they're yelling like Cassie, Cassie. And I'm like, do you mean Casey? Oh, it could be. I'm like, all right, well, there goes my dream of my name not being mispronounced anymore. So that's all right. That's okay. All right. And then we're going to pop this through. It does help if you put, the die stack in your machine if you want to cut it before you hit run. It was running with no dies. Oh, I was crooked. That's all right. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Okay. And I do recommend, even for sets like this, if you want to have this and it's going to be perfectly aligned, definitely line up your stamp in your die. So what that means is you put your die on your surface and you lay your stamp and it fits in like a puzzle piece. Then you pick it up with your flip plate and it's aligned perfectly to the die. Because even this can be a little bit off sometimes. It seems like a sturdy enough arrangement that it's something you wouldn't have to worry about. It's not like when you have those fiddly bits, like they're really like long gangly flowers or leaves that are gorgeous. But when you go to die cut them, sometimes, they're really, really not getting die cut because it was crooked. So that's just a tip. That's a way to go it. Yes, I actually, it's funny. I was actually supposed to be named Susan, which is a fine name, but as I've lived my life, I don't know that I was a Susan. I don't think Susan was unique enough. I've always been a little quirky, as they say. So I think Bridget was good because when I was a kid, nobody was named Bridget. When somebody said Bridget, I always turned around because it was always me. And then now, my goodness, Bridget's like taking over the world. I go and people are like, Bridget, Bridget. And I'm like, turn around and I have no idea who these people are. So it's not me. But yeah, it's funny how name trends shift and you get used to it. Oh, the permanent mist gray. Oh, that's a nice one too. And the great thing about that one is that's a pigment ink. So you can do some more tricks with that one, with embossing and things like that. You can do some fun things with that. Okay, I think, again, my vision is not 100% today. My lining up abilities is not 100% today. So I'm glad you guys, and this I can see is already crooked. I'm going with it. It's a little crooked there. All right, hold on. All right, there. You stay. There we go. All right. And there we go. Okay. Oh, Amy. Hello, Amy R. I was going to send Amy R a card, I think like 6 weeks ago now, but I was telling my aunt last night, I'm like, I said, I'm really good at making cards, but apparently I didn't continue on my education to sending cards. I am so horrible at sending. It's like once I make the card, I'm out. Like I'm all right, it's done. Like I'm done with it. I can't ever touch it again or something. I don't know. It's some weird thing. I wish I was better. I have friends that, they even send cards to people for holidays and celebrations I've never heard of. And not that that takes much, but still, like they are so good about sending cards for everything. And I'm like in awe. And then I feel like a card making failure because I'm like, I don't send cards. So yeah. And Amy and I are on even keel. Like we were going to switch cards and we both haven't yet. So I guess you're friends with people that are like you in life, right? Amy and I are on a similar card thing here. Okay, so I'm going to take this, right? And this is probably both going to be pretty similar. We're going to take our background. Ooh, we should probably clean that off. That could be messy. And when you're stenciling, right, if you have a bunch of ink left over like this, spray it with water instead of alcohol and pop it on some watercolor paper or something. You could have some really cool backgrounds that way. So this you can line up and create like a cross hatch. There's like the little line there. There you go, right there. You can see the little cross hatch. So we can do that on one. So we'll put that there, and then Morning Frost. We'll get our gray. Whew. Get our gray here. And that is way darker than I wanted to go, but that's okay. I can put something over it. All right, so there's that. And then what you can do with this is you can leave this, and then you can flip this so that it goes over, and then you line it up. But you'd want to clean it off first. So what I'm going to do on this one, I want to go diagonally. It's not going to fit, but I'm going to make it fit, right? Because I want it to. I'm going to make it do what I want it to do. Okay. Sorry for the sniffling. I apologize. All right. And then, so I'm just going to line this up, right? And I can continue on my merry way doing that. So I like that. And then if you wanted to, okay, you can line this one up. So you can do your whole background this way. Just keep lining it up. And then I'll show you the flippy flip one. But I want to, oh goodness, snowing. It's been snowing on top of Mount Washington. Yes, that's what, I was talking about how warm it is here today. I so should not be complaining about how warm it is. I should be like, yes, it's warm. It's wonderful. It's just weather's been weird, I think was more where I was going. I don't usually have a direction on conversation. It just usually comes. All right, so we're going to flip it over, and then I'll align these marks that are on there to the best of my ability, and then we're going to go like this. Okay, so I flipped it over, and then we're going to get a cool pattern. Dooby-dooby-doo, dooby-doo. And I'm not applying, I don't want perfect coverage. I want imperfect coverage with this. And the other ink that was mentioned is the Permanent Mist Gray. This is a fantastic ink. Sorry, my lights are kind of bright there. There we go. Permanent Mist Gray. It's fantastic. It is a pigment ink, so it takes a little bit longer to dry. So, but you can see similar. So this is a little more brown gray. This is not. This is more true kind of light gray, but it's a stunning, really pretty light gray. All right, so we've created some interest on our panel. Here we have our happy birthday. These, all I do is I'm just going to trim these off, trim these out exact. So it's good. I highly recommend for things like this to have long scissors. Long scissors are very handy when doing something like this. It's much easier, and I can't cut the other way, so I'm going to do this. It's funny. I have a way that I color. I artist marker color a certain way by flicking away from me. I can't flick towards me to save my life, really. And again, cutting with scissors. I have a way. Is it the easiest way? Probably not, but it works for me. And that's the thing. It's just got to work for you. And I can, I can't see as well, I feel like. So I feel like I'm losing some of my black there, but maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just that feeling you get and it's wrong. All right. Okie dokie. And we only need 2, so I've cut enough for what we're going to do. And of course, you guys know what's coming out next. Ta-da! Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Yes, I owe Charlene like so many cards. Like, I'm sure because Charlene's phenomenal. She's not keeping track, but I am. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. Charlene sent me so many beautiful cards and I'm so far behind. So yes, I should do that. Charlene, I probably need to set aside a week to get caught up though. And that would just get me caught up. It's like, holy Toledo. And other people have told me, like, as soon as you make the card and if you know who it's for, like, just send it then. And I'm like, that's a good idea too. Like, I've gotten like lots of good ideas. It's not like I haven't gotten good ideas on how to do it. It's the execution of the good ideas. So maybe I need to do Charlene's idea. Maybe I should try that. Like on the 1st, oh gosh, which is tomorrow. Okay, maybe not the 1st. And so for those of you that are here today, I have a very important interview tomorrow with the fabulous Aram Tisneem for her new class coming up, Coloring Beyond Boundaries. She's going to give you a little sneak peek at some of the techniques we're going to look at in this fabulous class. So make sure that's at noon tomorrow. We would love to have you join us. And Hen, I think I'm going to go over by like 2 minutes is my guess, 2-3 minutes. I just need to glue these on, so I apologize. I did move a lot slower today, but I am so glad I got to see my crafty friends today. Even though you don't feel good, it makes your heart feel good, right? So your body, nothing's going to make you feel good for a while, but it makes your heart feel good to see your crafty friends. It really does. Okay. Woohoo. Got the tape off. There we go. All right. So then, because I don't kind of like these leaves down here, and I cut them a little crooked. So we're going to cut off some of those. And I think best way I want to do that is by doing this. Okay. Because I was a little haphazard there. I know I cut sentiments. There we go. Thank you, Hen, and thank you everybody for bearing with me here while I would like to finish these. I should put them, well, I'm giving them to my aunt. I was going to say, I should put them in the mail. But I don't know anybody that's having a birthday. And I don't know. I guess I could send both Charlene and Amy birthday cards, right? They'll just be really early. So you guys wouldn't mind if I just really late, I guess, whichever direction you wanted to go with that. I highly recommend a pair of tweezers to put your sentiments on. So like they're straight and all that jazz. Don't know where mine are at the moment. So I'm going to, and I got some satin masking tape on there. Oh goodness, we'll deal with that in a minute. All right, so we're going to do the happy birthday there. And then because I love cutting little tiny foam tape, and oh, I just realized I didn't grab my Altenew scissors. That's okay. That's all right. I have so many scissors in my drawers. When you've done this for 30 years, the scissors, and that's like I was talking to, it might have been Mindy, because Mindy loves tweezers. And we were talking about tweezers, and she said she had a lot of pairs of tweezers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know. I have like 8 pairs. And she's like, oh my goodness, girl, I don't have that many. So I was like, whoops, I guess I have a few. Oh, Aram. Hi, Aram. I was telling them tomorrow about your fabulous interview / crafting session / peek at class kind of thing going on tomorrow, which is very exciting. Depending on how I feel, if I feel up to it, it will be similar to when we did the lay interview, and I'm actually going to craft along. Aram's going to teach, and I'm gonna craft along with her to show you guys how wonderful it is and easy it is to do these techniques and classes. So there's our first one. And then our second one is missing. And it was here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So similar thing. And then this, you just want to cut off, right? Paper screams. Sorry, I know Bernadette used to cover your ears. We'll have to talk to Han about being able, I bet you Han would do that for you guys too. Bernadette used to, whenever I did paper screams, Bernadette would cover all their ears so they didn't have to hear the paper screams. Oh, yes, I am prepared. If I lose one pair of tweezers, I'm very prepared. Okay, so this one, right? I'm going to try not to do as much foam tape, LOL. I say LOL because I always try. I'm like, I'm going to calm it down this time. And you know what? Never works. Never works. It's because I love foam tape. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love foam tape. My name is Bridget Casey, and I love foam tape. Okay. There. And then just because he's kind of twiggy, right? We don't want him hanging out there on his own. And I got that piece there. All right. So we're going to do this. And then I think if I had had more time, I think what would be perfect on these cards as a final touch would be some beautiful gem sparkles. Those would complement this so beautifully. Okay, and so this one is going to be front and center. Okay, so we'll put that right there. And then we're just going to pop the happy birthday on there. If I could pick up the piece of tape I just stuck to the desk. Okay. Whew. My face matches my jammies right now. I can feel it. All right. And then what you could do, right? You could put the happy birthday up there. Oh, sorry. I'm off camera. I'm sorry. I'm usually out so much. You could put the happy birthday up there, but I'm going to tuck it as much as I can in here. Okay. And then because I still have I like to tuck things into the floral arrangements like they're friends. They're giving each other a nice big hug. And on a birthday, what do you want? You want a nice big hug. And then you can put this here. Now, if I had moved it a little bit more, right? If I had moved it, if I had had my arrangement down a little bit more, I could have put the happy birthday up here. And then I could have put the sub-sentiment down here. You don't have to keep the sentiment and the sub-sentiment together. They are good friends, but they don't have to be together all the time, right? So it's like, you know, when you have your best friend in school, you tell your mom, but she's my best friend. Your mom's like, yes, that doesn't mean that you guys have to be together 24/7. Guessing that I heard that in life, huh? Okay. So thank you so much, you guys, for bearing with me today. Well, I'm under the weather, but I'm so glad you guys, I love a good tucked sentiment. I think it looks fabulous. I love it. Yeah. And so look, just this set, I hope you'll have another, sneak peek at it. And this one, the card example, like they tucked kind of that in there too. And then they used that stencil kind of down the center. But I hope you guys will have another look at this amazing stamp set. It's very versatile. Also, please check out the class with Charlene did with this set. It's called the Small Stamping Kit. And it has a class by Charlene showing 3 different ways to use this amazing set as well. So check that out. And I will see you all tomorrow at noon for a fabulous, fabulous hour spent with the fabulous Aram Tesneem. Until then, my dear friends, I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe night this evening, and I will see you all on the flip side, as they say. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you so much. I'm working on the feeling better, I promise. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.